Okay. Who's ready to make this map look old and ancient? I am. Alright, if you look, I added a few little extra things. I put a castle, I put some sea monsters and a boat and a swamp. I was adding a couple extra little things to my map. But we're going to try to make it look ancient and old today. And to do that, you're going to need a tea bag and some hot water. You could also use some watercolor paints if you want to. That could work really well. But what I'm going to do is this. Now, first, you don't have to do this step. I just think it makes it look really cool. If you do have watercolor paints, you could get a little bit of brown watercolor and try to water it down a bit. And what I like to do is if you just put a little ring around your islands, kind of like this, just kind of go around them with a little layer of watercolor paint. That's gonna start it having this neat look where it looks like the water's kind of coming out from your little islands. And I'll show you how in a second. So I'm kind of going around with a nice little ring around my little islands. Some more water. I'm just going, the only part I'm adding right now is I'm almost like just outlining my islands, okay? My archipelago. Just gonna outline my islands like so. So cool, even my little islands. And then what I'm gonna do that's gonna make this look really cool and ancient is I'll get another layer of watercolor, and I want to water this one down a little more, and I'm going to put another little ring around. This one's a little wider, kind of around my islands, and this makes it look like the water is kind of fading out from the islands a little bit, which looks pretty cool. Alright, so now this is the fun part. We're going to take our beautiful piece of art and we're going to destroy it. I'm going to take my artwork, and this might feel wrong to you, but I'm going to crumble it up. Now, when you uncrumble it, you got to be kind of careful not to rip it. If it has a couple little rips in it, that's actually okay. It makes it look a little ancient, but you don't want to rip it so much that your artwork is destroyed. But I'm going to uncrumble my paper. Ooh, I got a nice little rip there. That actually looks cool. I'm going to uncrumble my paper. Okay, like this. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to add some coolness to our picture. I'm going to take this tea bag, okay, and I want to dip it in some hot water to let some of that brown tea leaf color come out. Now remind Mr. Galloway not to drink this tea because I put I put some paint in it a second ago. But I want to really kind of dab my tea bag, and it's going to be kind of hot, so you got to be a little careful. But now that I've got it dabbed, I'll squeeze some of the extra water out. I'm going to take this tea bag and I'm just going to kind of blot it all over my paper, okay? All over my paper, kind of blotting it on. And what that's going to do is it's going to put some little tea stain look to your paper to make it look like an old weathered piece of paper. Ooh, I'm actually getting some tea leaf out on it, and that's okay. But since you have all these wrinkles, it's going to affect the paper and make it look really cool once it dries, because the wrinkles will kind of help it flow differently. So I'm taking this tea bag and I'm blotting my whole paper, and I might get some tea leaves on it. That's okay. Uh-oh, I'm really leaking now. But we can always clean that off at the end, no big deal. But I want to get the whole thing blotted, bloody, with some brownish tea water, okay? And what's going to happen is this is going to dry, and it will be darker in some places and lighter in some places because where you have all these little crumbles, it's going to have the tea kind of flow and go. And it's going to look really, really awesome when we're done. Now, I might even very carefully put a little extra crumble in. My paper's a little thick. This is like a nice thick paper. If you use printer paper, it still works, but you have to be extra careful crumbling it because we don't want to accidentally rip our paper. Now, I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and show you the final step. It's going to be really cool looking when we're done. All right, I'll be back.
Several hours later.
Okay, we have let our map dry. It is looking pretty cool. I like how the little water lines I put around it really kind of make it look like the islands pop out, and you can tell maybe that was the ocean. But I think it looks awesome. Now, if you want to scroll up your map, you can kind of roll it like so, and you've got this ancient map. I like, sometimes this is a cool way to do it. If you scroll it up one side like this, and then scroll it up the other side, and let them meet in the middle, it could really look like a cool little map scroll that you unwind to look at your awesome map. Alright guys, I hope you had fun making an ancient fantasy map. I can't wait to see how these bad boys look, and I hope you guys find your treasure. Alright guys, I will talk. Ooh, that's a fun idea. Oh, oh, oh. Still a little damp right there, so it ripped a little. What a fun idea. You could put your journey across the map on there too if you want to. Alright guys, I'll see you next week. We'll have another fun project, and see ya.